Hi there. So a while back I made some instructional videos for a web application that I have built, but that was like 10 years ago. And as you can imagine, I've made quite a few changes to the application in 10 years. So now I have to redo all those videos. And I don't really want to do that manually, which is how I did them originally. So I just recorded my screen and then I clicked all the places I have to click and typed in all the stuff. And then I recorded a voiceover separately. And it was a lot of work. But now it's 2026 and we have stuff like Elevenlabs for creating voiceovers with AI. And we have Playwright for controlling the browser with code. And we even have the OpenAI API, which we can use to control the code that controls Playwright that controls the browser. So I think we can do a lot of automation to help with creating instructional videos. And that is what I want to try and do in today's video. So I want to build some tool to help me create instructional videos. So let's do it. The first thing we have to do is we have to figure out how we can record videos with Playwright. So Playwright, if you don't know, is a browser automation tool where you can write some Python code and then it will open up a Chrome browser or a Firefox. And then in the code, you can tell it to click on places and you can type in stuff and you can do all kinds of stuff. So let's install Playwright. But first I have to do Python 3m venv to install the virtual environment. And let's do source venv bin activate to activate the environment. And let's do pip install Playwright. And I will also create a new file here called requirements.txt, and I will add Playwright in here so I remember what I need. And then we also have to do a Playwright install to actually install the browser. And I guess I had that installed already on my system, so it was very quick. But normally it has to download like Chrome and Firefox. And I think you can pass in some flag to just download one of the browsers. Anyway, now what we can do is we can make a main.py, and from Playwright we can import sync Playwright or something like this. I don't quite remember. I think it's from sync API import Playwright, sync Playwright. And then we can do with sync Playwright as p, we can say that the browser is p.chromium launch. And let's say headless is false, so we can actually see the browser when it opens. And then we can say page equals browser.new page. And I believe we can just put here the URL. And I have a WordPress application here running. So this is what I'm going to use to test out this instructional video generator. So we can make like an instructional video of how to add a new WordPress page. So I'll put here http localhost 8080. Is that how this works? Maybe I don't pass it here. I just say new page and then I have to do page.go to. And then we put it in here like that. And let's do something like page.wait for timeout. And let's put like 5 seconds in here. And let's do page.close and browser.close. And let's see if this code will work. So let's run Python 3 main.py, and it should open up the browser and it should go to our WordPress website. And here it is. And after 5 seconds, it should close it. And that should be it. Okay, but now we have to record a video of this. So let's see how we can do that. I believe it is in new page. Is there something here? We have a record video dir and size. Okay, so if we say record video dir is something like videos dir. Let's define this up here. Videos dir is videos. Then is that all we need? Let's see what happens. If we now run this thing, it's going to open it and it's going to again wait for 5 seconds. And do we now have some videos? We in fact have a videos directory here now. Let's cd into videos. And we have a video. So that was pretty easy. Let's see what this looks like. xdg open this thing. And here we have a video of our browser. It looks a bit weird. There's like a gray bar down here. So I want to fix that. And I want to see the whole page there. We probably need to set the viewport. Can we say viewport? And we can say width. Maybe we can do something like 1920. And height is 180. Isn't that the full HD resolution? I believe so. Okay, let's see if that helps. So let's run this thing again. Oops, I need to go back here. And let's see. Now it actually opened in my other screen here. And it's a lot larger. But what if we now open from the videos the other one? So now we're going to have two videos, okay? It's a bit annoying that we can't specify the name of the file. It's just a directory. Let's see what's in here. It's still weird. And it actually, it seemed to change when I moved, when I moved the window from my other screen, it actually changed the video, which is a bit annoying. And why is it so offset? That's very weird. Can we define the actual window size? Let's put screen. And I guess this takes a similar thing. So let's make the screen like this. And width also 1080. And let's try again. Screen width expected integer got undefined because it's width like this. Okay, it didn't really change the size of the window. Okay, let's open this thing. What is the video file now? I have to figure out some way to delete the old ones because now I have too many videos in here. It's still weird. This might have something to do with the scaling I have on my computer. Is there some scaling? Device scale factor. Let's put 1. And let's do RM, RF, videos. And let's run it again. And nothing changed. Let's see if anything changed in the video. Let's open the video. And it's still screwed up. Let's see if Firefox works better. So Playwright comes built in with Firefox. Well, I shouldn't say built in. I mean, it installs it separately in a different location, and then you can use whatever browser you want. Let's see if Firefox is any better. So let's run this thing again. And okay, so actually Firefox opened, it's like on 2 screens now. It opened the whole window in like full HD. But what about the video? So let's open this one. And okay, at least it's centered. So that's a little bit better. Do we need to define a size for the actual video? Is there like a video size? Okay. So can we just set width and height here too? We should probably move these in something like window width and window height. Let's put them here. Window width is this, and window height is this one. And I'm missing a comma here. Let's see again. Is it going to work now? I will delete the videos again, and I'm going to run it. And now it opens up just the same. And by the way, this window is huge. It goes up to 2 screens. Okay. And if I now open the video from here, it is not good. Why is there like a huge bar down here? That's very weird. How can we get rid of that bar? Video size is the same as the window width and height. Viewport is the same. Screen is the same. Record video size. Dimensions of the recorded videos. If not specified, the size will be equal to viewport scaled down to fit into 800 by 600. If viewport is not configured explicitly, the video size defaults to 800 by 450. Actual picture of each page will be scaled down if necessary to fit the specified size. Okay. What if we define only the video size? Let's delete the videos and run it again. So now it looks like this. Now it's not a huge window. So I guess maybe the video is not going to be too big. Let's open the video. And hey, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I can work with this. Now there's some weird bars in the edges, like here and up here, but I think we can crop those out. So that's not a terrible thing. Let me try one more time. What if we set just the viewport? It would make sense that the viewport, or because, is it because it has the like top bar in there as well? So it's not actually, the video doesn't really, or the whole window doesn't really fit on the video because the viewport is the size of the video, but it includes the bars in there too. Let's try one more time. So now we have just viewport defined. So again, we open a huge window. And then what is it going to look like? If we open from the videos, this one. Yeah, now we have this bar down here, which is super weird. It seems like the viewport now should be higher, like 300 pixels higher. What does that do if I open it like this? Let's run it again. And let's see what will happen. So then we're gonna open the video. It's not any different. That's weird. Maybe there's some limit to how big the video can be. So what if we changed it to 1 to 80 and 720? And then we try one more time. So now it's kind of huge, but I guess for a video you want it to be pretty like zoomed in so you can actually see something. But let's open the video. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Okay, it's a little bit annoying that there are these extra bars here, but I think I'm going to go with this. I'm not going to struggle with this any longer. We can tweak it in the end, and we can crop those borders out in the end. So then it's going to look nice. Okay, we can now open a browser and we can record the video. But ultimately how I want this to work is something like this. I want to be able to say something like video is instructional video, or I don't know, what should we call this? Instructify, something like this. And then I like give it the URL or something. So this might be localhost 8080. And then I want to do something like video.voiceover. And I want to say something like, here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. And I guess this should start at the login page. We could just say wp-login.php. And then we could say video.click. And we could click on whatever the like login name, whatever the ID is, or actually type into it something like WordPress. And then we could type in the password. And then we could say video.voiceover, click on login. And then we could say video, click login button, something like this. So let's try to make it work like this. I will move all this stuff to another file. So let's make an Instructify.py. And we need to have a class Instructify, and we are going to have an init, which will take the URL, which is a string. And what do we do in here? Let's just do pass for now. Well, we have to say self.url is URL. So we need to take self as well. And then we have to define the voiceover with a text. And let's just pass for now. But this should then generate the voiceover with ElevenLabs. And then we can do the type. So we can do type. And we are going to get the selector. And we are going to get the text to type. So then we have to communicate with Playwright. So let's put that in the init. So all this code that I copied from the main file, let's put it in here. And we can probably set here videos dir. Well, we don't need to define this here. Maybe we want to define the window width and height here. So window width is going to be an int, and it's going to default to this, and window height is an int, and it's going to default to 7, like this. So then we can call these window width, and this one window height. And I'm not sure if we even have to save the URL here. We just go to the URL like this. And we might want to create some close method here as well. So let's define close, and it's gonna close the page. So we need to save the page and say self page, self browser. So we need to say self browser is this, and self page is that, and we call self browser and self page. And when we type, we can just call self page type, and we pass in the selector here and text here. And we probably want to add some sort of delay here, because we don't want this to be super fast. So let's put like 0.3 here. We might want to add it here. Delay float is 0.3, like this. Delay is delay. And we also need the click. So let's make a click function. Let's do click. And there's no delay in click, I don't think. And there's no text. There's just a selector. And actually, we want to, when we click the login button, we need to wait for the page to change. So we could implement it here. We can say self page expect navigation. And I think we have to do it like this. We have to say with expect navigation, we are going to click this selector. Okay. So now we can do from Instructify import Instructify. And now our code will look just like this. Then we want to do video.close. And let's actually check what are these selectors so we can click those things. So if I log out from here and I go to the front page here, then this thing is called user login, and this one is user pass. And submit is going to be just WP submit. So let's say user login, user pass, and this is WP submit. So let's see if this thing works. If we now do Python 3 main.py, then it's going to open the login page, and event loop is closed. Okay. What happened here? So on line 31, we try to do self page type, but it says it's closed. Interesting. Because we do with sync playwright as P. So we need to do something like self.playwright is sync playwright. Can I do it this way? And then do like that. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to do this manually. Can you do this? Is there self playwright dot fire? There's no Firefox. How do I use this thing? because this one is a context manager. So I can't directly access Firefox from there. Let's take a look at this thing. Playwright context manager. So it is going to return a sync playwright. Can I just get that sync playwright? Okay, let's do it this way for now. Let's pass in playwright, which is going to be the sync playwright, like this. So we import sync, what is it called? Sync playwright. Where does this come from? It's just playwright. Okay. We import playwright from here. So this is the playwright. And then we can say self playwright is playwright. This way. So then we actually import sync playwright in the main, like this. But we don't need the playwright. And then we have to do here with sync playwright as p. We're gonna do all this, and we're gonna pass in the p in here. At some point, I want to figure out how to do this properly. Maybe I can make this thing a context manager, so I can say with Instructify as video, and then I can do this stuff. But I need to figure out how that works first. So let's just pass it in for now. So now, if we run it, hopefully it works. We're going to open the login page, and we filled in the information very fast, but I don't think it filled it properly. Maybe it only wrote WordPress. So we need to wait for the page to load. Let's go here, and can't I give here like a wait until load? Is that going to work? Let's try again. I think that should be the default. Okay, now it seemed to work. Okay, it works. Let's try one more time. You can open it. It's going to type in WordPress and log in. Well, it was very fast. Was there a delay? I set a delay here. It's 0.3, but it seemed very fast. Yeah, let's put something like 1. So then we see for sure. Yeah, it's not working, and it still didn't quite type in everything. So I think we have to add some delay there. But why does this not work? Delay. Interesting. So I'm going to just add here self page dot wait for timeout. Let's just add like 1 second time. I always hate when I have to add timeouts in Playwright. There's always a better way, but I'm not quite sure what the better way would be in this case. Okay, so now we open it, we wait for a second, then we type in, and that works. But why is the delay not working? Time to wait between key presses in milliseconds. Milliseconds. So this should be 300. That seems quite high, actually. Let's see. So now, okay, now it's very slow. So let's make it a bit faster. Let's call it 50 milliseconds. If we now run it, then it's going to open it up, and it's going to type in all this information. That looks pretty good. Maybe it can be a little bit slower, but yeah, let's put like 60 milliseconds. Okay, and if we list videos, we have now a bunch of videos here. So I want to figure out something here. There's too many videos. I want only one video. So let's do something like import shutil, and let's say if OS path exists, videos dir, and we have to import OS as well. Then we are going to do shutil rm3, just delete the whole thing. Delete videos dir. A very dangerous function to call, but I think it should be fine here. A better way would probably be to make like a temporary directory in some temporary location and then write it there. Let's add here a to-do. To-do, write to temporary dir. Okay, so now in the end, when we close this thing, we are going to have a file in the videos directory. and I actually have to call this self videos dir so that I can reference it later. So we need to then get the video. Maybe this can return the video. Let's do, it returns str. Sorry, it's this way. And we can do something like os list dir. And we can do self.videos dir. So this will list, it's make a list of all the names of the files. And I think they are the base names of the files in the videos directory. So videos is this. And if the length of the videos, if there's no videos, then that's an error. So let's raise something. What kind of error? Runtime error. Unable to create video. Then if we have a video, then we can say that the video is videos index 0. Actually, we can just do this. We can say try, and we can accept index error, and then we can raise this thing, unable to create video. Now, not sure if this is necessary, but at least we know like what actually happened instead of just an index error. Now, I guess this will already fail if we didn't create the videos directory. So what does this actually throw? Does it tell me? Probably an OS error. So let's just do this. We can do like that. Video is this. We try that. And if we can't do it, then we are going to say unable to create a video because of the error. Like this. And this should be exception error. As error. Okay, that's enough error handling. And then we can just return the video. So now in our main, we can say, let's call this video something. Let's say, what is this called? Let's call it inst. And then the video is going to be this. It doesn't quite make sense to call it close. Maybe it should be like finalize. Anyway, it's going to be close for now. So then we can just print here created video, and we can put here the video like that. So now, what's the error here? It's complaining about something. Videos dir, self videos dir. Let's see if it still works. So we are going to run main.py. It's going to open this thing. It's going to log in like this. And it is going to close it. And it says created video listing. And if we list videos, there's only that one. Great. And if we xdg open this thing, videos, then it is going to look like this. And it's very annoying that it's like clipped it very weirdly, but it works, right? We log in, we type in the username and password, and we click login. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to create the voiceovers. So let's use the Elevenlabs API to do that. Let's go and pip install Elevenlabs, and let's go to our requirements, and let's add Elevenlabs. And then I need to get my Elevenlabs API key. So I logged into Elevenlabs and I went down here to developers and API keys, and I created an API key. So I can then do export Elevenlabs API key, and I can paste it in here so that you can't see it while I use it. Wait a minute. Anyway, we can then go to our Instructify, and in VoiceOver, we can do something like this. Let's actually, from Elevenlabs, import Elevenlabs, and I think I have to like reload this window so that VS Code will load all the dependencies. Okay, so we have Elevenlabs now, and we can do something like Elevenlabs client is going to be Elevenlabs, and we are going to say API key is os get end Elevenlabs API key, like this. And then down here, we can say Elevenlabs client create or new or whatever might it be. I think it's in speech, text to speech. And then we do convert. Okay, and we need the voice ID. So let's grab some voice ID from here. Let's go to the voices. And I will pick Max from here. So let's copy the voice ID and let's paste it in here. And we need the model ID. I'm not sure if we need to pass it in. Let's just do text is text. I think that's enough. And this will return an iterator over bytes. Okay, so the audio is this. And then we can write that into a file. So let's say something like self.audio dir is audio. And let's do with open os path join self audio dir. And what should we name this file? I think we should make like a hash of the text so that it's kind of going to be caching the audio. So if we create the same audio again, we don't have to do it all the time. So let's say mp3 file, and mp3 file is going to be something. Let's do hash dot mp3, and hash is going to be, we need to import hash lib, and then we can say hash lib md5. And this is a readable buffer. So we can say text dot encode and UTF-8. So that's the hash of the text. And then we just save it with that. And we can check if OS path exists, mp3 file, then we can just return mp3 file like this. So then it was cached. So this one will return a string. So it returns the name of the mp3 file. Otherwise, we're going to save the mp3 file. I'm not sure if there's like a helper function. I think they would have some sort of save audio. Save. It's just save. Okay. So we're just going to do with open. We're just going to do save. But we have to import it from here. Import save. And save will take just the audio and the file name. So we save audio into mp3 file. And then we return mp3 file. And what does this thing return? Nothing. So I guess it's gonna crash if we are unable to do it. Okay, now we can create a voiceover. We need to move this self audio dir up here. Maybe we can just define it up here like this with the videos dir. Let's see if we can actually generate the audio now. So let's run main.py, and it's going to open this thing. It should create the audio, but we did not receive an API key. Didn't I pass it in? Elevenlabs API key. What did I do? Elevenlabs. Okay, I mistyped this thing. Elevenlabs. Let's try again. So we open the page first. Then now we're going to start creating the audio, but we have missing permissions. I forgot to add permissions to the API key. I thought it was automatic. So let's go to API keys. Can I edit this thing? I can allow access to text to speech. So now, if we try it one more time, it should work. So it opens this. It is going to then start to create the voiceover in the background. And then it failed. Okay. Okay. It tried to access this kind of file name. We need to do something to the hash dot hex digest. I think this is what we need to use. Let's try again. Let's run it. And it's gonna generate the audio in the background. And still there's an error. File not found. On line 53, MP3 file. we don't have the directory for the audio files. Let's add here, if not OS path exists, self audio dir, then we are going to OS mk dir self audio dir. So now we're going to have the directory. Okay, let's try again. So now, again, we generate it in the background. And then we continue. So now we should have the first voiceover generated. And I'm not sure how many voiceovers we had. But if we now list audio, we have 2 files in here. And in our main, we had 2 voiceovers. Okay, let's see if they actually have what they're supposed to have. Let's open audio. Let's see this one.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials.
Okay, that was correct. And let's open the other one, which is this one.
Click on Login.
Okay, it works. So how do we now put the voiceover into the actual video? That's interesting. I don't really want to like play it live as it is like browsing the website and then somehow capture the audio. I'm not sure if that's even possible with Playwright. I want to just create the video of the Playwright clicking around and doing all the tasks. And I also create the voiceovers, and then I want to, from that, create a new video with the voiceover. So I think what we have to do is we have to track when we start generating the voiceover and when we finish generating the voiceover. So then we can clip those parts out from the video and then only take the parts where we're actually doing something. And then we need to somehow add the voiceover to the video, but then pad that part with something. Now, depending on what kind of video you're going to make, you might want to actually see something happen live on the screen. Like if your website has a video, maybe you want the video to be playing while the voiceover is speaking. But I think at first, let's just like show a static screen. So we can just copy, like duplicate whatever is the last frame in the video while the voiceover is speaking. So let's try and do that. In our voiceover, when we create the voiceover, we need to save this voiceover somewhere. Let's define here something like self.voiceovers is going to be a list. And can we define like a voice? There's a list of voiceover. And let's define that class here, voiceover. How should I type it? Voiceover like this, or voiceover. Let's call it voiceover. And we will have an init, which will have the file, which is string, and the start time, which is a float, and end time, which is a float. And we're just going to say self.file is file, and self.startTime is start time, and self.endTime is end time. So then, when we create the voiceover, we're going to say start time is time.time. Let's import time. Import time. And actually we want to also save the start time when we start to make the video. So the timestamps of the voiceovers will be relative to the video timestamp. So we probably want to do it somewhere, maybe after new page. I think it will start recording after that. So let's do something like self.startTime is going to be time.time. That's when we started. And start time is going to be time.time minus self.startTime. So that's the start time of the voiceover when we started to generate it. And we could probably structure this in such a way that if not OS path exists, MP3 file, then we generate it. So then we can always go here and we can add the voiceover to the voiceovers. So we can do self voiceovers append, and we're going to append a voiceover which has the file, MP3 file, like this, and start time is start time, and end time is going to be time minus self.start time, like this. So then we're going to have a list of all the voiceovers and when they start and when they end. I kind of want to move this like to end time. End time is that. Okay, so now we know which part to like clip out, which part is not actually doing anything in the video. It's just generating the audio. So then when we close, we are going to get the video, and what we want to do is we want to loop through all of the voiceovers that we have. Let's see, for voiceover in voiceovers, self.voiceovers, we need to cut out from this video the part that is like between the voiceovers. So let's say that start time is going to be 0 at first. So the first clip is going to be from start time until the voiceover start time. So we need to clip it between these. And for clipping the video, we can use MoviePy. Let's install that. Pip install MoviePy, and let's add it in here, MoviePy. And how this thing works is that we can import, for MoviePy, we import video file clip. And we can say that the video clip is going to be video file clip video. And how we can make a short clip of it, let's call this full video. And the clip is going to be full video sub-clipped. So this takes in the start and the end. So it's going to be the start time and voiceover start time, like this. And then we have to set the start time to the voiceover start time. Well, not the start time, but the end time. So end time. So the first clip is going to be from 0 until the start of the first voiceover, which probably we want to drop in the end. And then we set the start time to the end of the first voiceover. I mean, no, we don't want to clip that, because in the beginning you have to load the page and then you start the voiceover. Okay. We might want to clip something from the beginning so that you don't see the like empty page, or whatever. Then the start time is going to be the end time of when we stopped creating that voiceover. And then the next clip is going to be from that until the start of the next voiceover, and so on. So then we need some sort of video clips list, and we're gonna do video clips append clip. So we're gonna gather all these video clips that have been cut out from the original video, and we need to set when this video will start in the full video. So we can say clip equals clip with MoviePy is a bit stupid because it doesn't have the type definitions. It just says this returns any, but actually it returns a video clip. So let's do it here. Let's say full video with start. And what with start does is it defines when this video clip will start to play in the final clip. Because ultimately we are going to do something like this. We are going to say that composite clip is going to be composite video clip. And then we pass in here the video clips. And then we can like concatenate these. And we can import this thing from here. Composite video clip. So we have to define that this one will start at start time. But we can't really do that now. We have to track two different times. One time is the time in the timeline, and one time is in the original video. So let's call this something like video time. And then let's say timeline time is also 0. So this will start with timeline time, and actually we have to do it here, and then the timeline time is going to be, well, it should be plus equal to the length of the clip. I think we have like clip.duration. So with the original one, we have full video.duration, and the sub clip will also have the duration, but it's just not type hinted, so we can't get it from there. But this is the timeline. This is the position in the timeline of the final video we're going to create. So we move it forward the duration of the video clip. But we should also move forward the duration of the audio, of the narration or the voiceover. So let's get the audio as an audio file clip. So let's go up here and let's import audio file clip. And it is going to be voiceover file. What did I call it? It should be file. Why is there no file? It's file. I'm not sure why I don't have file in there. But actually, it's a class. Do I have to do dot file? Oh yeah, it should be dot start time. And we also have to gather all the audio clips in a list. And we have to set the start time for the audio as well. Audio is audio dot with start. And this one will start at the timeline time plus the duration of the clip. Right, so we play the clip first, the video clip, and then we play the audio. So which way should we do this? We get the clip, we do the sub clip, we set the start time, then we take the timeline time and we add the clip duration to this. But then we also have to pad this clip so that it takes the full time of the narration or the, what is this? The voiceover. So let's do, first of all, audio clips, append audio. We can add that already. And before we add the video clip, we need to pad it. And there's a thing in the clip. Let's do full video with effects. And we can pass in some effects here, but of course we're going to do it to the clip. And there's an effect called freeze. So from MoviePy dot is FX. What is MoviePy video FX import freeze. So freeze can do exactly what we want. So it can freeze the last frame of the video and then duplicate it. So we can add here freeze. And we can pass in T as end to freeze the clip at the end. So T is end, and freeze duration is going to be the audio.duration. We basically add like extra padding to the end so that we have something to show while the voiceover is speaking. And we have to reassign this clip equals clip with effects. And then we append the video clip, we update the start time, which is not start time anymore, it's video time now. And composite clip, let's call it composite video, and let's call this audio, and we have to import composite audio clip as well. Composite audio clip, and then we can say full video. I already have full video. Did I use full video? Up here. So let's call this final video. Final video is going to be the composite video with audio, composite audio, like this. So now we add to the concatenated video the concatenated audio, and then we can write it. We can say final video dot write video file. I think it's like this. Again, let's use the full video so we actually see the parameters. File name FPS codec. I think we can just do final video.mp4. But let's use WebM because the original was WebM. And let's say FPS is 30. This is going to be the final video. Let's see if this works. Now, this is gonna take out the last part of the video. So this should like end in a voiceover. And this is a very short video. We should add some more steps here. Let's add in the end something like, next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side. Something like this. And now, what we actually return from this is just the final video.webm. So let's call this like video path. Video path is final video.webm. And we just return video path. Let's see what will happen. If we now run this thing, it's going to open it. It's going to log in to WordPress. And then it's going to load this. And now it's going to create the last voiceover. And it could not find the file. And the reason is that I get the name with list dir. And this one only gets the base name. It doesn't get the path. So we have to say something like OS path join videos dir, or it's called self.videos dir, and like this. Maybe there's another another function that will get the full path. Whatever, we can do it for now like this. Let's see. Once again, we log in there, and then it should now be very fast. And voiceover object is not subscriptable because I used it wrong. It should be dot. Did I use it like that anywhere else? Nope, that should be it. Let's try one more time. We log in, and it should close right away because it uses the cached voiceovers. But then it starts to make the video. And now we're writing the video. Let's see what it looks like. It will take a minute to do this. And it's almost done. Okay, let's see what this video looks like. Did I get it first try? Probably not. XDG open final video.webm.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. Click on Login. Next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side.
It's actually working. Now, we have to figure out the timing properly, but it's basically working now. So let's see, what was the problem? First of all, like it didn't load the whole
Here's how you
page,
can add a new...
and it already starts to play something. So let's do something like this. When we start the thing, we need to do the start time. But here, let's say that we are going to do wait until load. And let's also do self page wait for timeout. Let's wait like 2 seconds. And then let's save this time. Let's say self.load time is time.time. Actually, we'll do time.time minus self start time. So then, when we loop through the voiceovers, the video time, or the video time is going to start from self.load time. So we don't take anything before that. And was there any other issues here?
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials.
Now this works properly.
Click on Login.
Okay, click on Login. So it started to speak too early. So what does that mean? What if we just add a little bit of timeout? So let's add a second after it types, and also a second before it clicks and after it clicks. And I think with expect navigation, we can also pass in wait until. So let's say wait until is load. So we click, we wait until it loads, and we still wait for 1 second. Okay, let's try to do it again. So we're going to open the thing just like normal, but now we're going to wait until it loads. If it loads, I'm not sure why it's taking so long to load now. But of course, something went wrong. My localhost server was too slow to load. Let's try one more time. Okay, now it loaded. We wait for 2 seconds. Then we save the time. We type this thing in. We type that thing in. Then we click login. And then we wait for the next page to load. We wait for a second, and that's it. And then we create the video. And here we go. It's ready. Let's see how this looks like.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. Click on Login. Next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side.
That's amazing. That's honestly amazing.
Here's how you can add it.
So now I just have to clip out these sides from here. So I think we can use some crop filter on the final video. So when we do the final video with the audio, we're going to do final video is final video with or cropped. Again, I need to use the full video here. Cropped. I think there's a cropped and x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, and there's width and height separately. So I think we can just do x1 and y1 as the top corner. So let's do x1. Let's look at this. x1 is just 0. And y1, let's actually call it x1, y1. So this is like, I don't know, 30 pixels. And then we're going to do the width. What is the width of this thing? Let's check over here. Yeah, it's 1280. Well, I think I set that myself. So then the width is going to be 1280, but we need to subtract 30. And then height is going to be 720. And we need to subtract, oh, sorry, width. Well, yeah. So we have to subtract this thing, which also is kind of 30. But then from height, we have to subtract this and that. So it's going to be minus 30, minus 30. Something like this. Let's see what happens. Can we just, do this manually? Let's do something like crop test.py. And we can just import from MoviePy, import video file clip. And then we can say video is going to be video file clip, final video.mp webm. And then we can say video is video.cropped. And let's copy this thing. And then let's just do video.write video file. And cropped.webm, and FPS is 30. By the way, it's very important to put FPS here because sometimes MoviePy will get like stuck. It will start to write like 1,000,000 frames for a 5-second video. So put the FPS here. That will help immensely. So then if we do Python 3 crop test.py, it should just crop it. And we don't have to run the whole thing again. We just test it first. Okay, here it is. So let's see, crop.webm.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website.
Look at this.
First, navigate to the login page.
It's looking pretty good, but I think there's still some extra there. Up and down, there's no extra, but it might have cropped too much. I can't really tell from this view. But on the sides, yeah, there's extra there. Was there actually extra on the sides in the
Here's how you can
original? Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff. So we have to take like 70 from here and 30 from there. Okay. So X is going to be 30 and width is going to be minus 30 minus 50. Let's see if that will work. Let's crop it again. And let's open it.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website.
Okay, we're getting close. There's still something in here. So let's do like 70 here. And let's crop it again. Now, I'm not sure if this will like differ on different computers, because I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the scaling on my computer. So I have to test it with other computers. Or you can test it with your computer and tell me if it works.
Here's how you can add a new page.
Look at this. It's amazing. No borders. I mean, if I resize, there's going to be borders, but actually there's no borders now. If I just open it directly,
here's how you can...
No borders. Amazing. So let's add the cropping stage to the final thing here, like that. And let's add a little bit more steps to this thing. So we're going to click on the Pages menu. Let's see where it is here. It's over here, and it is called, there's an ID menu dash pages. So let's say menu dash pages. So we click that, and then we need to click add page. So let's copy this. What is that? I think we can just use this class page title action in this case. I think there's just one action, so we can do that. So let's do inst click page title action, and let's add a voiceover. Then click on add page. And after we click this one, we need to add a title. Now, this might be a little bit difficult because this is an editor. What is this thing? It is an H1. Maybe we can just use the H1. Wait a minute. This is an iframe. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. With iframes, yeah, we have to do a little bit more gymnastics here. Let's first add a title for the page. And I think we can now do something like inst.page. We can directly access the page. And there's some frame thing here. There's a frame. And we can get it by the name. Does it have a name? Editor canvas is the name. So we get the editor canvas frame. So the frame is this. And then we can do frame dot. I think we just do here like click. Yeah, or type. Okay, so we can then type. I think there's one H1. The first H1 is where we want to type, because this is like a content editable field. It's not an actual input box. And I think it's the first H1 here. So let's just do H1 type. This is the title. And let's add the delay here. What did we use? I think it was 60. I have to figure out how this would work the best in this kind of API that I'm trying to build. But it's pretty cool that we can use directly the page from here anyway, if we need. And then we need to say type the content for the page. And we already have the canvas or the frame. So then we need to click something. Yeah, so we need to click this thing first. So we need to click, what do we click? What is that thing? It's this. Can we just click with this class? Let's see. Luckily, there's not that many elements on this page, so we can probably just use this. So we can click this thing within the frame. And then what happens after we click it? If we click it, we should probably wait for a while. Let's do inst page timeout. Wait for timeout. I don't know. 1 second. And then there should be something. There's a P in here. Is there multiple P's? Or can I just use the P? Maybe I can use the P directly. There's no other P's. So we click this thing to open the thing. We wait. And then we're going to type into the P. This is the content of the page. And again, delay 60. And let's add some delay here. So let's say we have typed here something, and we type here something. Then we need to click Publish. What is this thing? Editor Post Publish button. Okay. So let's do inst.voiceover. Next, click on Publish. And we are going to do page. Sorry, now we can just do directly inst click. And we're going to click this thing. But this thing doesn't actually need to wait for the page to change because it will ask to click Publish again. Let's make another one like click no wait. And then we can create it here. We have click and we have click no wait. I mean, we might just add a parameter here to say don't wait, but let's just remove this thing. We're still going to wait for the second and then click and then wait for a second, but we're not going to wait for the page to change because it doesn't change in this case. So now I click no wait, and then finally confirm by clicking publish again. And what is this thing then? Editor post publish button. It has the same ID here, right? Is this the same? Editor publish button. Okay, but is it? I don't think it's the same element. That's a cancel button. Publish panel. Yeah, I don't think it's the same element. So how do we differentiate between these two? Where's this thing? It's up here. It's in the editor header. Is this one in the editor header? It is not. This is in editor post publish panel. Okay, I think I can do this. I can take the second one. My computer is very slow now. I can take the second one from editor post publish panel, editor post publish button, and the first one I can take from where? From the editor header. Okay, so this is editor header. Okay, and this one actually is it no wait or is it wait? If I click publish and I click publish again, yeah, it's no wait. It didn't load a page. No wait, and then let's add a final voiceover. Congratulations, you have published the page. Okay, I think that is enough for now. I guess we should like show how to add it to the menu and stuff, but that's not really the point of this video. The point is to make a tool for creating these kind of videos. So I think that's enough for now. Let's see if it works. Let's run main.py. And now we're going to generate a couple more voiceovers. But most of them should be cached now. We're just going to log in here. And then we should click on the pages menu. Great. Then we should click on add page. And we do. And then we should add a title. We add a title. And then we should add a content. Amazing. And then the publish button is off screen, but I can see it. I don't want to move the screen if it screws up something. And let's see if it actually works. It worked. So it clicked both of the buttons, and now it's going to make the video. So let's see how it looks like. Wait a minute. There's no audio in this. What happened to the audio? Did the cropping screw that up? I think it might have. So, didn't we try it with the cropping and the audio already? Or we didn't? Wait a minute. I used the full video. Damn copy paste. We need to do final video and cropped. Okay, let me run it one more time.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. Click on Login. Next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side. Then, click on Add Page. Add a title for the page. Type the content for the page. Next, click on Publish. Finally, confirm by clicking Publish again. Congratulations, you have published the page.
Great, it works. I saw a couple of small glitches there, like when it wrote the title, it stopped it too early. So I'm not sure why that happens. I think we can figure it out. And I think we are cropping a little bit too much. Let's put 25, here do 25 and probably 25 here, and here 25 and here 25. And another thing we should add is we should actually move the mouse. I'm not sure if that is possible in Playwright. Will it actually move the mouse? So if we go to our click, so we wait first for a second, and can we then do self page mouse move, and we can move it to an X and Y. Okay, so we need to get the element which is self page, is it locator? I think we can do locator, and we can put the selector here, and can we then do element dot bounding box X position bounding box. This is a function, bounding box X or X. So let's get the BB as element dot bounding box, and then we can get BBX, and we get BB Y. Is there a speed here? Steps. Sends n interpolated mouse move events to represent travel between. Okay. So how many steps do we want? If it's 1, I guess it just jumps in there. But 2 steps. I don't know, 20? Is that too much? Let's do 20. So we move the mouse to the position we're going to click, and then we click it. So let's actually add something like move to self selector, and then we can extract this thing, and we can say self.move to selector, and then we can do it with all these functions. So we can do this here, we just move there. So even when we type, I guess we can do we wait first, and then we do self.move to selector, and then here we move to, and in click no wait we also move to that. So I think that's going to look nice. We might want to add some like highlights or something, but I'm not going to do that in today's video. But let's try this now. There was one problem with when it typed the title. Where's the title? Here. I didn't add the timeout here, the delay. So we always have to delay for a second after we do something. Okay. So let's add that. And now it should work. Let's run it one more time, and then we can see the final result. Okay, now I didn't see the mouse moving while it was doing it, but let's see what actually happens in the video. Maybe it showed it in the video. All right, and it's finally finished. So let's take a look.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. Click on Login.
It's not working. It's not moving the actual
Next, you
cursor.
need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side. Then, click on Add Page. Add a title for the page. Type the content for the page.
Okay, at least the title thing worked now.
Next, click on Publish. Finally, confirm by clicking Publish again. Congratulations, you have published the page.
Okay, so the mouse movement didn't work. I'm not quite sure why. Let's take a look. So we get the element, we get the bounding box, and we should then move to the X and the Y. I wonder if it has something to do with the headless mode. Because we are in the headed mode, we are not in the headless mode. Let's actually do something like this. When we do move to, let's print something like this. X is going to be BBX and Y is going to be BBY. And then let's move and let's do self page dot wait for timeout. Let's do like 5-second timeout and let's run it again and see what actually happens there. Now, I'm pretty sure we can't see the mouse in the headed mode because I can see the mouse on my screen. So maybe that is the issue. But at least what I should see now is when we hover over something, then I should see it being highlighted like this. Ah, yeah, it highlighted something. But first of all, it went to the wrong place. Okay, so the problem is that the X and Y is the top left corner. So I need to move it a little bit. I need to say BBX. Is it a float or, yeah, it's a float. So BBX plus BB width divided by 2. So it goes in the middle. And then let's do BBY plus BB height divided by 2. And let's try to run this in the headless mode. Maybe that will help. Headless is true. And let's run it one more time. So now we're not actually going to see anything happening. So maybe it can then capture the mouse. And if not, then, well, I think there will be either no mouse now, or we can see the mouse. But it's kind of better if there's no mouse. I mean, better than having just the mouse in the middle of the screen. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials.
Okay, we can't see the mouse. Yeah, it's like it takes a while for the mouse
Click
to
on
move,
Login.
but then it doesn't show the mouse. That's a bit annoying.
Next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side.
Yeah, so we moved the mouse there at least.
Then, click on Add Page.
But it doesn't show the mouse, yeah. Okay, I checked the video and we in fact did not see any mouse there. So if we want the cursor, we probably have to like add some of our own JavaScript code to like draw a mouse there. But I'm not going to do that in today's video because this is taking too long already. If you want to see me add that mouse feature, then let me know in the comments and subscribe. So maybe I will continue this series to add that feature. Also, what I would like to add is the ability to change the voiceovers afterwards without having to launch the whole thing. So we should save somewhere the timestamps where the voiceovers were generated in the video so that then we could just change the voiceover without having to regenerate the whole video. Perhaps even when we create the clips down here, then we could just save each of the clips separately somewhere. Or maybe it's enough to just save the timestamps. And then we could even possibly change just one clip in the video. I'm not sure if that makes sense. But at least I want to be able to edit the voiceovers without having to regenerate the whole thing. And also I would like to add some AI to this so that in the main we could just add like click and then submit button. And then it would use AI to figure out what button to press. So we wouldn't have to like find these selectors manually. So if that sounds like something you want to see, then make sure to subscribe and you won't miss that video. But for now, the last thing I will do is I will just change this move to so that there's just one step. We can in fact remove the steps. And I in fact forgot this timeout here, but I want to add a little bit of a timeout here. And I will regenerate this video one more time, and then I will show you the final result. Okay, so I had to make one more change because apparently now that we're using the headless mode, then the cropping doesn't work, or we don't have to crop when we are in the headless mode. So I added this headless property to this Instructify class. So now we can set headless to true or false. And then if we are not in headless mode, then we're going to do the cropping. So now here is finally the ultimate video.
Here's how you can add a new page to your WordPress website. First, navigate to the login page and fill in your credentials. Click on Login. Next, you need to go to the Pages menu on the left-hand side. Then, click on Add Page. Add a title for the page. Type the content for the page. Next, click on Publish. Finally, confirm by clicking Publish again. Congratulations, you have published the page.
So that's it. Now we can create beautiful instructional videos very easily using Playwright and ElevenLabs. But this is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then leave me a like and a comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.